In this thread, actual paranormal things that happened to you. No laps. What kind of experiences have you had? All of mine have been related to sleep paralysis, which in my opinion does not get enough analysis from the science community. Not all negative. I had one where I felt the bed sag behind me, and the most incredible sense of euphoria and warmth washed over me, as though a loved one was hugging me. Another interesting one was I was locked up in my bed and heard music, very faintly, but it was beautiful. It slowly got louder and more intense. I never wanted it to stop. Then the sound of an audience laughing was deafening, and when I snapped out of it, I realized I was hearing an arrangement I'd been messing around with on guitar, done with more intricate and beautiful voicings. I wish to God I could remember how it sounded. I'm about 15 living in an apartment. One of the neighbors is this old man my parents would hang out with to drink and play poker. Very nice and charismatic guy. One day, I have this weird dream. I'm in front of the elevator, waiting for it, so I can go home. Elevator comes. The old man, let's call him John, is there and he greets me. Charismatic as always. Anon. How are ya, bud? Man, I ran a lot of errands lately. I'm tired. What about you? Hey sir, I'm doing alright. We talk for a bit, chit chat like how's school etc. Eventually the elevator stops. It's his floor. Well, time to go. He looks at me with this serious look for the first time ever. Anon. You are a really good kid. You are like a grandson to me. There's nothing but success in front of you. You were born to do great things. I just know it. Confused point eggs up. Thanks sir, that means a lot to me. He gives me this huge I'm proud of you look and pat me in the back. See you around kid. Asterisk LEAVESELEVATOR asterisk. Wake up. Get ready to go to school. Thinking about how weird that dream was, I left my room. Mom was running around the house getting clothes. Coat etc. Dad is drinking whiskey at 8 AM. Anon. You're not going to school today. John died last night. Literally go limp, cold and dead inside. I couldn't help but think about the dream over and over. This happened about 13 years ago. I still remember like if it was yesterday. John, wherever you are, I'll never forget your kindness. 12 kid, live in house built in 1800s, belonged to two home surgeons, father and son. This house fucked me up, constantly shit going on. Would sleepwalk, wake up in weird places with dirty feet, washing dishes one night after dinner, winter night, pitch black outside, hear knock on window above sink, look up to see kid dressed, like fucking Oliver Twist pressing his face to window, he says something, I can't hear him, then he's gone, tell my parents, they rush out, no footprints. In snow, no one was there, I got more. Probably 14, middle of the night, sleeping, house is small, share room with younger brother, wake up to him saying my name in near panic, voice so stained it's squeaking, I think there's someone under your bed. Normally I'd call bullshit, but he's freaked, I'm frozen, not sure what to do. Hand slowly slides out from under bed, we both start screaming. Dad turns light on. No one there. Sleep in parents' room that night. Grandmother born a witch anatomically according to native law. Same UFOs follow me around majority of my life. Shown many people I know their first and only UFO sighting. Gnomes, poltergeists, possessions. Recently woke up crippled. Everyone I know dies in tragic untimely accidents and I know before it happens. Throughout my teenage years smoke weed and drink a lot. Start seeing this basketball looking orange glow floating beneath the tops of trees. Brush it off as intoxication. Point it out to my best friend one night. That's weird is all he says. Smoking in my friend's car a different night. Point out the ball to him. He immediately vomits. Point it out at a New Year's Eve party. Everyone present either says that's weird or pukes. Stopped seeing it. After I lost my virginity did I give up wizardhood/x/? I was probably 14 years old. Had a dream about living in the middle of nowhere in a small trailer. In my dream I'm outside drinking tea and watching my dog play. Start getting windy all of a sudden. I'm very worry. I call for my dog to come inside the trailer. I'm inside my trailer. I'm hugging my dog and I'm crying. The trailer start shaking. I look up and half of the ceiling is gone. Then I feel the trailer is in the air. I try to hold my dog. Then I wake up. I wake up scared. I keep thinking about that dream. It felt so real. I can smell the tea I was drinking. The trailer smelled like chicken soup. It was so real. Later that day, my mom watching the news, they show a woman in Oklahoma die inside a trailer with her dog when a freak tornado destroyed her trailer. I went to my room and start crying like I never cried before. Mid to late 90s, landline/corded phones are a thing. Only person in the house. Family are outside doing fuck. If I remember now, phone rings so I answer it. Hello. Nothing at first, but then I hear my voice in what seems like a delay. Confused and rightfully freaked out, I start inching toward the front door to get my older sister. On the way I mutter hello again. Silence, then I hear my voice again. The delay was a little quicker and occasional static started crumbling in the earpiece. I start walking faster. I'm in the center of my living room and I say hello again. The delay is nearly instantaneous. I feel heavy, like there's a pressure I just stepped into. My sister comes walking through the bed door because she thought I was talking to myself. As she does, the person on the other end hangs up and their presence vanished. Nothing paranormal, more of an existential epiphany. Smoking weed with some work friends. Everything's fine until I start losing my shit. Feel like we're close to being in a cataclysmic event. Can't remember if it was a nuclear strike or a comet. Scramble to grab a few things though. I head for the basement, freak out more for some reason, because my basement is actually more like a crawl space. Where the fuck did the basement go? Hug it out and say goodbye to my butts. Decide to go back inside. Start to calm down and sit on the couch. Start to think about evolution, aliens, cosmic entities. We all came from the same origin, whether we were placed or bred here by aliens. Perhaps we evolved from aliens boning everything on this planet and we exist as hybrids. Start thinking that I'm a god, that we are all a god, or god, that we created this reality out of boredom, and if this cataclysmic event does happen, that we'll split up into various atoms and try it all again. Find strange solace in this. Feel like I'm reading my buddy's minds, or more or less, that we are a part of the same consciousness, or at least, that our consciousness are one in the moment. Suddenly we start talking about and confirming things the other was thinking, vice versa. There's more to this I can't remember, and my buddies don't really remember much either. Just that they too felt like they had an epiphany that day, and for some reason we thought it was a good idea to calmly huddle under my crawl space for a couple minutes. I know my buddies dabble in harder drugs, so I think I got a mild taste of whatever they took subliminally from the joint we were passing around. They just don't want to confirm they do, probably because of work. Walking to a candy store at about 9 AM a block away, pass by a rather imposing pine tree with huge branches. A voice from inside called out to me and said, "Hey kid, come here." Went inside it to check it out. Someone sitting on a branch at least 10 feet off the ground, looking down at me. Teenage boy that dressed like he was a pilgrim. They asked if I wanted to play a prank on my mom. I agreed, so they told me to wait here. I sat down at the base of the tree and waited a good hour. Nothing. I asked if I could go and they were like, "Don't you want to see if your mom loves you or not?" Pissed off, I agreed and waited a bit longer. Get tired and pass out. Wake up a while later and the sun was setting. Could hear people calling my name. Heard my mom right outside the tree walking past it. So I jumped out and scared her. I was missing for 10 hours. She asked where I was and I told her I met a nice friend in the tree. She worriedly looked in there and said nobody was there. Entire neighborhood was searching for me. Mom explained everything. An older Irish woman demanded the tree be cut down and burnt. Owners of the house refused, but agreed to cut the branches away so no kids could hide there again. Owners later moved away. Nobody has stayed there for more than 12 months. Tree has grown back completely. Irish woman is dead now. Every time I saw that tree growing up I felt immense dread and avoided it. I've seen some weird shit on a back road I take going to work. Driving to work, see a dead deer on the side of the road. Hours later coming home from work, there's a flashing lights ambulance exactly where the dead deer was. Coming home from work, drive by an open field. There's a tall, dark figure standing in the middle of the field. In my 2 years of driving by this field I've never seen any produce grown there, so it probably wasn't a scarecrow. The figure was around 6 to 7 foot tall, humanoid with broad shoulders, Couldn't see the legs/feet due to high grass. Could only make out the silhouette. No real details. Only seen it once. Coming home from work, make my way to the stoplight. Traffic was bad, so when I stopped my truck I was still in the wooded area. Feel that my truck is starting to rumble and shake. Truck is now being rocked side to side, almost like people are pushing and pulling it. Wondering WTF is going on. Realize it's a dust devil. A dust devil that only formed around my truck. The car in front of me was just fine. No cars behind. So it was only my truck that was inside of it. The light turns green and traffic moves up enough for me to drive through it. Once through it, the dust devil dissipates. Coming home from work, Saturday, a lot of people called out, so I had to stay late to help out. Leave around 9 PM. Going through the wooded area, no street lights, just me and one, maybe two cars very far ahead of me, and one car behind me. Remember thinking the guy behind me was a jerk for driving close with his high beams on. Driving along. About midway through the wooded area, the car lights behind me vanish. The car didn't slow down and turn off. The lights were just gone. Seconds later I make my way through the wooded area and pass underneath the street light. Watch my rear view mirror for the car that was behind me. Nothing comes into the light. Most of this stuff can be explained away, but I just find it weird how it all constrains on this one road.